morning, everybody. I'm Yvonne with Southern Designs and Finds, and welcome. Today, this morning, I'm not on Craft Round the Clock. They're doing their stocking challenge. I'm going to be making an angel with some yo-yos, some fabric yo-yos. So we're going to be doing another yo-yo project. So y'all come on in, and when you see I'm live, that red button up there, you know I'm live. And I will, I'm going to try to find myself here on my phone so that I can see comments. So we'll see if that works. I hope so. So anyway, I did let everybody know on the Telegram channel that I was going live about 30 minutes prior. And then I did mention that in my morning post, although not many people, I guess, have seen it. Facebook has not been pushing that out this morning and last night, so maybe I'm not in their favor anymore. Maybe I've fallen out of their favor. I don't know, but it does help if you see it, not just to like what we've posted, but if you can make a comment as well, just, or you know, or an emoji or something like that. That does help. So welcome everybody. I see again. Here we go on my phone. Is so and so's watching. So good morning, Natalie. Thank you for that comment. Hey, Marcia, Natalie, thank you, and Marcia. It's Sharon. Good. So I'm starting to see some comments. Good morning to you, sweet lady. How are you? Hello, Kethany. How are you? Love you big. How are you doing? So I don't think my iPad does that thing. It does on the phone, but it doesn't do it here on my iPad. You know, in the beginning it did, but it doesn't do that anymore. So anyway, love you big. Hi, Sue. Hello. Hey, Lori. Good morning to you. Is it cold where y'all are? Is that the $1 million question? Gosh, I tell you what, it was 18 during the night, you know, low, but it's going to warm up into the 50s, and then by Saturday we'll be 60 degrees. So we're just going back and forth. It was 11 yesterday morning, which to Southerners here in the North Georgia areas, that's cold for us. And it got down really cold in South Georgia too. So yes, so yeah, thank you for passing those biscuits, Janet. I appreciate that. I really do. And thank you for y'all sprinkling and passing the biscuits. Hey, Janet, how are you, stranger? How are you? Janet's one of the first people that started following me. That was, what, six and a half years ago? Something like that. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Cold in the foothills, North Carolina foothills. Oh, I bet y'all are. I mean, it's been, and of course, the other day when the cold front, the Arctic blast came in, the wind, you know, the wind chills were terrible. It just, my daughter and I got out and went to Walmart and a few errands, and oh my gosh, just, you know, it was, we froze just getting into the store. You made it, Kathy. Good. Glad you made it, my friend. My nose is a little congested. I'm sorry. We had the fireplace going. I don't know if it was just the fireplace or what. Anyway, I'm going to get a sip of coffee and we'll get started this morning. And cheers, everybody. Cheers to Tuesday, right? How many more days is it to Christmas? What day is Christmas falling on? I haven't looked. I have not looked to see what day Christmas is falling on. Isn't that terrible? I've been so busy. Aw, look, I like all your emojis, Sue. Those are cute. Hey, Lori, good morning to you. Anyway, so I have a surface that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it was painted real white. And I tried alabaster, and it just didn't quite look right with this paper. Once again, I'm going to be using this wrapping paper that I got from TJ Maxx a couple of years ago. I've made more projects with that, especially this year. Christmas is on Thursday. Okay, Thursday, Christmas Eve. Okay, I know Jennifer and her husband are coming back in on the 22nd. Because he's got an appointment with his back surgeon for a checkup. And they'll be here. And I don't know when Sarah's coming, but Jennifer's been here since Saturday. And she's leaving. She's staying an extra day, so she's leaving tomorrow. On Thursday. Okay, thank y'all. 9 days into Christmas. Oh, my goodness. And really, I guess we've kind of, I don't know if we've missed the deadline to get anything ordered online, if it'll get delivered in time. I think so. So, yeah. So, I don't know. But I've got pretty much everything. Jennifer and I went out a little bit yesterday and just found some little odds and ends little things for the girls and you know, the men, the husbands, you know, husband and boyfriend. Nothing for Tim. Tim and I aren't exchanging gifts as far as I know, because this house is our gift, and you know, we've just been buying. I had to buy another extra nightstand, and because I had to furnish the downstairs bedroom when everybody came at Thanksgiving, because I had that bedroom empty while I had all my boxes of home decor in there, trying to figure out where to use it, or if I could donate. So I had to get all that cleaned up and find homes for everything, you know. So anyway, so I'm just chattering on, aren't I? Anyway, so but anyway, this came from Hobby Lobby, and I ended up painting it cashew. And then I went over the beads a little bit, dry brushed the beads a little bit with some of the plaster just to make it a little bit lighter. And then I went over it with some Behr, B-E-H-R, the dark wax that I use. So anyway, it's a little bit lighter, I think, than the other. I got to get it out in the better light and look at it. And then I just painted around the edges of it. So we're going to use that. Thank you, Janet. I don't ever know how to wear it. She didn't cut. I told her not to cut the layers all the way up in here and just to leave them a little longer, but then they're causing problems. So anyway, so let's go ahead and decoupage this ticking stripe wrapping paper onto my surface here, and we'll get that on, and see what I can do here. Well, I'll just use this. How about that? I'll just use that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do it all the way to the edge, because I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge sometimes where that paper is going to come, you know. So I'm just going to do it all the way. So I guess I'm going to need some more. Sometimes I put too much. But I'm not doing the stocking challenge because I just didn't think I was going to have time to do anything really this week. Maybe one day with Jennifer here, and also I got to go over to someone's house today after I finished my live, and finished decorating her house for Christmas. She recently moved, and she's late getting her Christmas out. So I went over there, I guess one day last week, and looked at what she had in her house, you know, as far as decorating goes. And she said, I just can't put it together. I want you to work your magic. So she and I worked on it. And then the next day, she and I went to Hobby Lobby to buy some extra ornaments, big ornaments, large ornaments. She's got these shelves that are they're so long. And those are a challenge to decorate. You know what? Those, longer shelves are a challenge. So we got some she had already gotten some big ornaments, and when I saw she had some Santa, she had a really pretty white Santa, and I said, oh, let's do like a snow theme, because she had a really white looking ornament. So it kind of has evolved, and so I'm going to finish up today, and hopefully finish up. We bought some things for she has like a ledge in her entryway real high up, and I don't know if what we bought's going to work or not. I won't know till we get there, but I was hoping she had a Christmas tree we could put up there. So we'll see. Hey, Darlene, good morning to you. Hey, Diane, good morning, my coffee buddy. Cheers. I do have my coffee this morning. So this is my third cup. So I'm probably I didn't drink all of my second cup, but it's just cold, so I'm drinking more. Okay, so let's get this dry. And but anyway, if she'll let me take pictures, I'll take pictures of what we've done so far. But I think the shelf, she loves it, what we've done. I've got one upper shelf to finish, and then she's going to have her tree in the corner where her other shelves are. So some of those shelves won't need anything. They'll be hidden. But I was hoping she would have her tree up by now so that we could gauge, how much we had to decorate. But, so we'll see. But she has a lot of Jim Shore figures that she's collected, Santas and reindeer and stuff, and so we've kind of grouped them, mixed them in with that. Sometimes she usually just kind of had them spread here and there, and I said, well, we can do a few here and there. I said, but when you have a collection, it's good to try to keep them fairly together, So I'll see if she'll let me take pictures, and we may take some of them off the shelves and move them somewhere else, maybe on an end table, or she's got she does have an entryway table we got to finish decorating. We bought stuff for that, and then she's got a table a side table in her dining room. So we'll see how that works. Hey, Jane, how are you? Good morning, Sandra. Is it cold in Arizona, Diane? I know a lot of y'all said it's cold. So I gotta plug in I just remembered I gotta plug in my iron here. So let me do that. That means I gotta bend over. Oh, no squat. Goodness. Maybe that'll give my back a good stretch. We'll see. Oh. I'm tired of this back pain. Oh, just when I walk, it pinches. It's my butt is really what it is. I'm tired of, it's a pain in the butt is what it is, literally. But I'm tired of it. It's just every day now. And I'm trying to do better stretching. You know, when I get up in the morning, just stay in the bed and stretch. I guess that's some of the key to getting some relief is the stretching. I mean, that's all physical therapy did for me. I finally am the one that kind of said, I think I'm doing better. I think I can just do what you're doing at home, you know, because some days were good, some days weren't. And the, I don't know, I never had pain in my legs. They kept saying, do you have pain in your legs? Or it goes down your leg. And I said, no. And they said, well, that's good. Well, then whatever they started doing, I started getting pain. Like, not all the way down to my leg. Occasionally I have it in the back of my thigh. So, I don't know. 25 in Michigan, but feels like 15. Ooh, burr. It got down to 18, they said, this morning. So, yesterday was 11 degrees. I ordered your Santa shirt in pink. I know, Pam, I love them. I couldn't decide whether to do white or pink. Of course, the very first day I wore it for that event, I got the Waverly Antique Wax on it. It won't come off. So, anyway. Just that's part of being a crafter, right? I'm going to wrap my brush in something here because I didn't get any water. I was up there talking to Jenny and kind of lost track of time. So anyway, well, I just feel like I'm so out of practice doing lives. All right, let's just wrap that there. And let's see, not too bad. It was 35 earlier in the morning. Okay, our high temperature will be 72. Wow, that's perfect at 3. And you don't have the humidity either, do you? It's going to get up in the 50s, and then by Saturday it'll be 60. So but yesterday it got up, it went from 11 to 46. And I can't believe Jennifer and I thought, oh, this is so warm compared to what it had been. You know, usually something in the 40s is usually pretty, yeah, it's hot. It's pretty cold, you know, normally under normal circumstances. Isn't that funny what we get used to? So, all right, so let me get that. Do the edges here, iron this. Get it all down. But I love, I guess you can tell, I love using this paper. This paper is primitive, or, you know, it has a primitive look to it, the ticking stripe or a farmhouse look. This paper can be used all throughout the year. If you've got, this, you know, this kind of decor, if you've got some red, you want to incorporate red in your home decor, your colors, this can be used all year. You don't have to use it just for Christmas and Valentine's Day. But do y'all decorate for Valentine's Day? I think I've asked that before, but I'm just curious. I mean, we do Valentine's Day crafts, but I just wondered if y'all actually decorate for Valentine's Day. I never really decorated for Valentine's Day. Of course, the things I make, I think, are stuff that you can keep out for a while anyway, you know, because it would be something that I like doing in my house. I didn't, of course, I've been in an RV for 6 years until recently, so I don't know what if I'm going to put anything out or not, if I might put out something I just especially like. But I'll probably make some things and sell them. So I have a few Christmas things that I've made that haven't sold, but I think it's too close to Christmas now for anybody to want to buy them. And of course, everybody's buying gifts. They're not buying for themselves. So I haven't paused my store. I've got a few, you know, I've got a few wreaths left, little cypress wreaths. I think I've got 10 of those. And then I've got those trees back there, the barnwood trees. I'm trying to think of what else I could use those for, you know, and maybe try to do something with them throughout the year. You know, what I've got left of those, I ordered too many of them. I thought they'd really take off. Now, I did sell out of the grouping of 3, but I can always add more of those. But I was thinking maybe I could do an angel of some sort with that, or I don't know. I know they make snowmen out of anything and everything too, but I don't know. But if y'all got any ideas, let me know. Hey, Susan. That's right. No humidity here in Arizona. Wow. The only cold month we really have is January, and that's your winter. Oh, gosh. Well, hey, Mandy. There is my sweet friend from Western Grace and Home Decor. How are you, sweetie? I'm glad I saw you. Sometimes you comment. I never see when you're live. I think I only get notified if I'm on my personal page. Every now and then I'll see it, but I'll try to watch replay. I transitioned to red items for Valentine's Day with lots of winter accents. Okay, Pam. That's good to know. That's good to know. All right, so I have put this on here. I tore the edges, and as you can see here, and so like I said, I love that ticking stripe fabric, and I guess it's on good. I've ironed it enough, I feel like. But anyway, so I'm going to be working with some yo-yos. This particular bag of yo-yos are all cream, okay, and I got these from Jubilee Fabrics. It's called www.maryleehome.com, but I got them from Jubilee. But I got the primitive, the homespun fabric ones, and then these, all cream ones. So we're going to work with these and see what I got. As long as it is rustic or primitive, I decorate for Valentine's. Okay, Michelle. Yeah, well, pretty much, you know my style. So I just was wondering if y'all decorate for Valentine's Day. So I'm sure Mandy's going to come up with something cute. Mandy, I have not done that Santa hat yet. I got to go in and watch it again, and those 2 lives in the group, and get it going. I just haven't had time. We've had company, and my daughter's been here. So I have these angel wings right here that I'm going to be using. I'm getting rid of my... I don't really want to call them rejects, but let me show you. I've got them in my store, and they are, I'm glad you got to see me live too, Pam. It's been a while, hadn't it? I never seem to find you. Isn't that crazy? Just, are you searching Southern Designs and Finds? These were, you know, I sold out of my solid color rusted wings, and Tim hasn't cut any more of them. At first, the guy that did his pacemaker said he couldn't use that plasma cutter, anything that had electric. But then when he went to the doctor, pacemaker doctor, he said, that's not a problem, you know, so I don't know. He just said at time. So I do have some, and I'm going to show you. I have 2 different sets. So these are the ones that are not solid, rusty. They just, you get what you get because that's how it looked on the roofing material, the roofs of the sheds here from our farm. Tim took down part of a shed, and we had all that roofing material. So, you know, it doesn't weather evenly. You know, some pieces did. I tried to get them to cut out the pieces that weathered more evenly, you know, that look more like this. But anyway, these are some of them that, how they're looking. This is the one set here. I think I've got 14 of these. And so I really don't want to call them rejects, but they're just some that I pulled out when he was cutting them. But I said, you know, maybe we'll cut these, do something with these later. But see how they're looking? And some people don't mind this, you know, and I just don't know. Some people don't want any blemishes or any kind of coloring on there at all. But these are the wings that he's cut out. I'm going to get him to cut out the ones that go down, the wings that come down. But see how they're looking? There's nothing wrong with them at all. I just didn't think that anybody would want them. But I did put them in my store, so if y'all want them, they're here. I'm just giving you an example of what they're looking like. They're just really, you get what you get, you know, on there. Because if you drive by out in the country and you see these rusted metal shed roofs, or if they're sitting out in the weather, you know, they've already been taken down, they're just going to weather differently in different areas, or if they're stacked on top of each other. That kind of thing. They have a lot of oxidation. So these are, see, Rebecca loves them and Natalie loves them. So, yeah, and see, this is probably the cleanest of all of them, you know. But my old ones, they were all pretty much clean. So I have those, and then let me show you these real quick. A sampling of these. These are more, hardly have any rust on them. These were part of the shed that, like, you know, half of it, I don't know why they do that. I don't know if it's maybe some's more in the sun or some is more hidden or what. But these are all just basically almost the galvanized metal. So you could either do it on that side or this side. So these are lighter, okay? These are lighter. These are just more of the silvery galvanized metal. You see on the back there? See, they've even weathered on the back. And so this is a sampling of those. So both of these styles are in my store. I've got more of these. See how they are? This one is just almost totally gray. Got a little bit of rust on the edges as well as this one. So, you know, this one has rust, you know, like on one side, you know. So this is just a sampling of some of the wings that I have. And they're in two different you know, this set and the other set. So they're $10, including your shipping. Shipping has gone up. I have not raised them since 2 years ago when Tim made a bunch. But shipping has gone up a bunch since then. But they're still $10, including your shipping. And he cuts them out with a plasma cutter. These are not, you know, these are not mass produced at all. But you can see what they look like. I just wanted to give you a good sampling of what, you know, some of them look like. Some of them are cleaner, you know, and I started to use one of these instead of the rust one. But no two are alike, okay? No two are alike. Some are thicker metal than others. Just, you know, I don't know with the people that when they had the farm, when they built the shed, they just, I don't know if they just got stuff from here or there or what. But anyway, the link is featured. It's featured down there by your little arrow on your phone or computer or laptop or whatever you've got, or your tablet. It should be a little link that you can go, and then in the description of my video, the silver ones are pretty, aren't they? The description of my video has the link to it, and I put it in the craft kit collection, craft supply selection. That's where it is, collection. So anyway, so I'm gonna have to glue these down first. So let me do that real quick. I'm gonna use some E6000, and hopefully they're going to, where are my clamps? Hopefully they're going to stick long enough for me to finish it. And but you'll get an idea of what they look like, okay? I'm going to just put the E6000 down in different places here. And then I'm going to use some hot glue too. So, well, we'll see. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this E6000, when you, the longer you have it sitting, before gluing it down, I think it gets tacky. I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to take some hot glue and just do a few places where I don't think it's going to get what do you call it? And I'm not putting any hot glue where the rest of this glue is. So, but I've got I gotta hurry. Gotta put it where it's gonna fit. So let me get something to wipe it off here. I don't even know where my little fiddle. I don't even know where my what you call it. I've got some swabs, cotton swabs somewhere. So anyway, I'm just going to hold that down a second and wipe some of this glue off. There. It's coming out. I think it's the hot glue. I think. I don't know. I can heat it up probably later and get it. But anyway, I'm going to do my clamps here and get those clamped on. Do that. Got two of them. I couldn't find the big clamps. So I'm going to clamp these and just let them sit there and melt a little bit. I mean, gel a little bit, whatever you want to call it. So there's my wings. I've got them there where they'll fit. And we'll see what happens here. Oh my goodness. It didn't want me to go on your page. Facebook didn't want me to go on your page. What do you mean, Susan? That's weird. Huh. That is weird. I can't explain it. I have no idea, you know. Oh, gosh. Somebody keeps texting me. That is weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't have an answer. Okay, you sent me a message. Okay, what does the message say? Oh. Okay, well, you're clapping your hands. Okay, Susan, I see your message. I guess it is. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't your message. I'll look and see. All right, let's see. Hello, Michelle. How are you? You just ordered 2 of the angel wings. Okay, Lori, thank you. So you were able to get onto the site? Is that what you're talking about, Susan? Or is it just my page you couldn't get on? Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit a minute, and we're going to just, I'll get another sip of coffee here. How about that? And just let it sit. And we'll get started here. I had signed up. I went ahead and signed up for a regular craft time with Craft Around the Clock for 6 because somebody canceled their stocking challenge. And she said, y'all can go pick it up. Somebody can pick it up and do a regular craft. But then I didn't think I was going to get finished decorating this lady's house. You know, get back in time, so I canceled it again. So I came on at 10:30, and I'm gonna grab me something quick to eat and go on over to her house. So we'll see. So I'm just kind of pushing that glue up. Somewhere I got my cotton swabs are in one of these baskets or drawers. I don't know where, but it dried on me anyway. So anyway, I'm hoping it's gonna stay. And oh, you're doing good. Good, Michelle. I'm glad. Hey, Carolyn. Good morning to you. So, Susan, what was it doing? It didn't want you to get on my website page or this page. All right, so I'm going to, hopefully this is all going to stick. I hope so. I can't, like I said, I can't get clamps over, you know, this way. They weren't big enough, and I can't find Tim's big clamps, so I'm just hoping they're going to stick. That's why I put the hot glue on there. Maybe it would glue on the edges, and then the rest of this can just sit here and just glue away. But I think the longer you wait, I think that E6000 gets a little more tackier, and then you can lay it down. Yeah, always check to see if you're following me too, because that happened to you. How many times, Diane, has that happened where you weren't following me? It's still not saying that you're following me. I can do a search. You know, we can do searches. Your name's just not coming up, but I know you are. So, and you know you are because you said you saw it where you were following me. That's just so strange. All right, so what we're going to do now is use these little yo-yos, okay? And like I said, I got this bag from Jubilee Fabrics, but there is a website, www.marilee.home.com. But I got them from Jubilee. And I also got the homespun fabric ones too. So these are just really pretty, and you can grunge them if you want to, you know. And so we're going to work with these, and I'm just going to kind of lay it out the way I want it to go. And see. And I had to put my wings down because if I put my wings up any higher, it was going to stick over the edge. They didn't fit inside of there. So too many times Diane says that she wasn't following me. Yeah, I don't know why, because she comments all the time. Some people, you'll get unfollowed, and I've been unfollowed because I don't comment much or interact anymore, because I don't see them or whatever, you know. So I figured that's why I was being unfollowed, but maybe that's just not the case. So I'm just gonna do that. See how I want this. Get them a little closer together, maybe. So this is just going to be a little angel. This is what we're doing. So when I was doing the tree, my yo-yo Christmas tree, I believe somebody said, "Is this going to be an angel?" I don't know who it was, but that's what inspired me. I thought, "Oh, an angel. I wonder what that would look like," you know. So that's what we're doing here. Let me put that one there. I'm going to do that one there. So it'll be my rendition, my version of an angel. So I kind of want it close together. I don't want it real spread out. So I think that looks pretty good. I think. So I've got space there, then I'm going to put something. And I didn't know whether to do any feet for the angel, you know, like maybe little pearls, or I just couldn't figure out what to do. And I messaged Cindy Vines, my Shabby Heart by Vines, my bestie. I sent her a picture and I said, what should I do? Because we collaborate a lot. And she suggested I use the little metal trims pieces that I ordered off of Amazon. You know, Pam, remember we used them in our group? They're just a little decorative metal trim to put down there. And I tried it, and I could have probably have rusted it up a little bit, and maybe that would have looked pretty good, but I had another idea, so we're going to work with that. So I think that looks pretty good, and I'm just going to use hot glue again because that's what I used before to glue these down. So that's what I'm going to use. I want that one to come over a little bit more. Yep, even a little bit more than that. Okay, I'll just let that sit a minute. Glue down. But if you didn't catch my tree, you know, I did a tree and I did little buttons on every one of the tops of these little yo-yos. See, it says 60 days. You know it's been more than that. See, because what happens when you do followage or follow-age or followage, exclamation point followage, it only tracks where you've been, where you signed up as a follower. So Diane's been almost following me almost the whole 6 years. And it's saying 60 days because she realized she hadn't followed me and she signed, you know, refollowed. So but I know it's even been more than that. I mean, less than that because you had to go back and redo it. So it's just crazy. It's hard to figure out Facebook. I wish they would stop that. I don't know what's causing that. That was just my suspicion, was that that it was if you didn't interact, but that's certainly not the case with Diane. So she's always, if she misses my live, she's always commenting on the lives, my replays, or any of my posts. She's commenting because, like I said, I thought that's what was causing it, and it still could. But somebody said every time they do an update, you lose, and I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm going to glue this. I'm hoping this is going to stay glued to the metal. You know what? I may have to use E6000 on that where it's touching the metal. So we'll see how this is going to look here. Let's see. Is that the flat part of that? Yeah. So this is going to be my little angel here. I think just to be on the safe side, I'm going to see. Somebody has been following me 952 days. Somebody's been following me 1,927 days. My goodness. Y'all are having fun with that one. See, if it's not accurate, that means, you know, and some of you, I did that on one of my friends' pages, and it said I was not a follower, and to click, and I'm like, whoa. And so I had to go over there and do it. 711 days. So I had to go and do that. Tana, the angel wings are $10, including shipping. There's 2 different kinds. In the description of my video is the link to my site. And also, if you see a little paper clip or a little link somewhere at the bottom of your page, maybe by your arrow, you can click on that, and that'll take you to my website. And they're over it takes you directly to them, which happens to be in my crafts and craft kit section. So I have a home decor collection and napkin bundle collection, my finds, where I have vintage things I find for sale, that kind of thing. But it'll take you directly to these. So they're $10, including your shipping. So, and I'm estimating that the way that stuff has gone up, that we are. I mailed them in these little brown cardboard mailers. And I have a feeling that, I haven't weighed them or anything, but I have a feeling it's going to be like $5.96, something like that. You know, $4.96, $5, depending on if it's to Arizona or California or Washington, it'll be more than that. So, but I did not raise the price from the other ones that I had in the store that were more solid, rusty ones. They were $10 2 years ago, so I did not raise them. I call these my rejects, but they really aren't. rejects. These were just some I pulled out when Tim was cutting them, because it was just, he was cutting them out of the whole pieces of sheet metal, you know, on our roof, on our shed roof. And I said, I'm not sure anybody will buy these. And so I saved them because I use them. I don't mind them being like that. So I went ahead and I got so many of them, I decided to put them in my store, see if they'll sell. So, and this is one of them here that I did. And I came close to using the all gray ones, the all gray, you know, metal ones like this. Came real close. Just finding one that would fit, because they're different sizes, but they're all different, you know. So there's two different kinds there that you can choose from. So I hope that helps. So I've still got the clamps on this, but you can see what that's looking like, and you see a little bit of the angel wings there. Just I'm clamping it, keeping it down, clamped. You really need to clamp it for an hour, but I'll remove them and we'll see what happens here, okay? So I had this stamp set. I used to do Stampin' Up, and I recently got rid of a majority of my stamps. I made cards and scrapbooks, and I donated them. I donated another box, but I kept a few, and this is one I kept. It's got blessings, rejoice, faith, and peace, and I stamped it in the sepia, I think it was called sepia ink pad, and this is what it looks like. It's just backwards, I know, and I just did it on a piece of, it's either muslin or the Osnaburg, which is a cotton weave fabric. So I'm going to take this, and we are going to just grunge it up a little bit using, I think I might use the tea stain, if it's even tea dye. This is the Tim Holtz tea dye Distress ink. I'm going to try it with this first and see if it works. It's kind of dry. I'm going to try it. Let's see, what am I using here? I'm going to use this sponge, I think. So I'm just going to take it, and if this doesn't work, I'll use the Vintage Photo by Tim Holtz. So let me get that off my thing there. Let me see if y'all got any questions. I'm just gonna kind of grunge it up a little bit. Here. Just get it a little grungy. Instead of coffee dyeing it, tea dyeing it, tea staining it, I'm just doing it with that. And it makes a big difference, you know, but less mess. So I think you get the same result, you know, as you do if you had to tea dye this stuff. Thank you for passing the biscuits, Teresa. I love those that you call reject. I know, and you know, at one time I showed those either in my group or I showed them on my page, and somebody said, those aren't rejects. I want one of those, you know. And so I decided to let go of them and see if they would sell. So, you know, it's just, some people like things just really super smooth and clean, and even though rusty things aren't clean, but solid rush. Y'all that ordered the wings from me last time know what I'm talking about. They're just all solid. And, but you know, that, like I said, weather, the way they weather, you have no control over that, you know. So I'm going to put that down at the bottom. It says blessings. I could have done joy. I could have done Mary, you know, for something Christmassy. And this, with the little halo I'm doing, may look Christmassy, but that's okay. I'm just going to put that down there. I'm trying to decide whether I want to use Mod Podge, fabric Mod Podge, or just some glue. Sometimes that hot glue is thick when it goes down. So I'll just try some of the fabric Mod Podge. How about that? So I'm gonna get a little bit of this on there, just on the back, and see if it'll stick. We'll see. We'll see if it does. I'll just have to glue it. So let me get that back where y'all can see it a little bit. Make sure I don't put it upside down. Got some on the front. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. And then I got some on the front, and that's making that tea dye even darker and more splotchier, which even makes it look even more like it's been coffee dyed or tea dyed. That's kind of cool the way that does when the Mod Podge hits it. That's really cool. All right, so it's on there. So I'm just going to kind of dab it a little bit. Let it dry. Hopefully it's going to stick. And let's see, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'm going to glue a couple of little buttons on each side. If you've got any little brads, you know, you could put those on the corners if you wanted to. I'm just going to take a little button here and put it on each end in the middle. And put that down. One on that side and one on this side. It's trying to bubble up on me. I may have to, I should have ironed this on, but now I can't iron it because I put some Mod Podge on the top too. So that'll just stick. So fiddle, 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 fiddle. See if I can go dry it. That'll work. Of course, I'm probably going to loosen the glue on the buttons, but it's just bubbling kind of in the middle there. Maybe I should have just used hot glue. We'll just see what that's going to look like. Okay, so that's what I have so far there. So I just put the blessings down at the bottom to kind of take up some space. I hope that's not crooked. And we'll see what else is I'm doing here. Oh, thank you, Vicki. It's good to see you. Vicki, that's Vicki Hartman Mason. Y'all need to go over and follow Vicki Hartman Mason. She lost her crafting page. It got hacked. But Vicki, and it was called Vicki's Craft Room. But Vicki, that page is coming up in my feed yesterday, and you've been, I hope it's you. I didn't answer just in case it wasn't you. Have been posting on that, and it looks like you changed your profile picture to you and your new significant other or hubby. Let me know if you've gotten your page back. So so she was able to comment on it. And she's posted a picture, of something she's made and some past things she made. And so, Vicki, let me know if you got your page back. But that's Vicki Hartman Mason. She's was one of my followers, and then she opened up her own page, and she had lost her husband, and then she met a high school friend, an old friend of hers, and they ended up moving to Georgia. She was in Michigan, so a lot of y'all know her. And but like I said, I've been seeing her, oh good, see y'all are I need to call you and discuss that. Okay, yeah, because I guess you were able to change your profile pic and you were able to post something, but I'm not sure if you can comment back on it or if it's just weird, or if you can even do a live yet. But it looks like you've got some access to it. And nobody took the page over either. I mean, nobody's been posting these weird videos and things like a lot of them do. So, it's really weird. But go ahead and follow Vicki Hartman Mason right now. Don't go following the Vicki's Craft Room yet, not unless she tells you to. But it would be nice if you got it back. So then I have some sari silk. A lot of y'all know what it is. It's S-A-R-I. I got the cream colored from Amazon. I used to get the multicolored bundles of it, different colors and used parts of it. But this is just silky material that the women I guess it's just women, the Indian culture from India, not Native American, but the women from India would use these in their garments, to make their clothes out of. So I guess that's what it is. I'm just going to put that up here. I'm going to make a little bow. Just to have a little kind of divide the where the head is on that yo-yo, just kind of divide it there where the head starts, the little neck. Does that make any sense to y'all? So let's get that on there. And do y'all think I need to grunge this? So I have a heart. Where did the heart go? Okay, did I drop it? I may have dropped it with all my stuff. Okay, well, I had a heart. Let's see. Well, I'll have to find it because I had a heart, and y'all that got pages, y'all know what I'm talking about. This stuff just gets lost. Absolutely lost. I'm even looking in my drawer to see if I see it. And I'm not. So, it didn't stick to that, did it? I'm looking to see if it dropped in my drawer. I can get another one. So, no fear. I won't get it right now. But there was a heart. And is it down here? This is embarrassing. Gosh. Who knows where it went. Anyway, I'm going to put a heart somewhere in the middle down there. I'm going to put a heart on there. It's just a rusted heart that I got from Factory Direct Crafts. And what's the strangest thing? It probably went under my table. Probably is what it did. So, you have rain here, Cindy. Is it cool there where you are? There she is. Speak of the devil, my bestie. She's the one I told you suggested I do the decorative metal pieces that I got from Amazon. And it just didn't look quite right, Cindy. So I ended up doing a little fat piece of fabric with blessing, stamping that on there. So it wasn't so Christmassy. You know what I mean? So that's hot over there. That metal. I have no idea where the heart went. So I'm going to go ahead and just use some of this tinsel here for her little halo. And for sure, a little grunge, it would be sweet. I think I will. I think we'll do that. So let's grunge it a little bit. I'll get my tea dye back out again, and we'll grunge it just a little bit. And you can use your little sponges, you know, your little makeup sponges. I usually use those, and just kind of go over it and grunge it up a little bit. Sometimes I have better luck with these little sea sponges. But let's just see. I can grunge them up a little bit more. I just get more on there, I think. So we'll grunge it just a little bit, not a whole lot. But so this will be an angel that you could use, you know, you could make and use at Christmas time, obviously. But I think it could be left out. If your house is farmhouse or primitive, this can be used anytime, especially depending on the word that you decided to stamp. I have the little clickable stamps that I got off of Amazon, where you click your word and make your words a tiny little words. And so you could make anything you wanted, any kind of a word you wanted. And I got those out. I was going to use those. And I decided to, well, I don't know why. I saw this stamp set, I guess, and I thought, well, I'll just use that instead. Because you could do joy, you could do merry, you can do blessed, blessing. You could, I don't know what other words you could use, but you'll think of it. Or you don't have to use a word at all, depending on your surface. I just had to have something that would go and fit that space down there. That's the only reason that I did it, because I had to have something that would take up that space. Because I could only put the wings in one spot that would fit. So I'm just going to grunge it. And I may cut some of this off. We'll see. Get more on there. So you can leave it clean, or you can grunge it, whatever your little heart desires. But these are yo-yos that I got from Jubilee Fabrics. You can find them on Facebook or Google it, and see if they have them. They're just already made. You probably know how to make them. I don't know how to make them, but I heard they were easy to do. I need to Google it and find out how to make them, or go on YouTube and find out how to do them. But they weren't bad, the price, and I got a whole bag of them, you know, and I'll use them for other crafts. And then I also got some of the, you leave your angels out all year, Linda said. Yeah, why not? I mean, I've got my whole collection of angels that I've used these angel wings on. They're all together. They're down here, though, on a shelf. But you know, if I get a wild hair and I want to put some upstairs, I will. You know, I saved mine. I used them with spindles, you know. These wings are beautiful. Those of you that got them, you know, with spindles. And make you some angels. So, but I just thought this was an easy way to do this. You could make wings out of doilies, you know. You can do that with this project, which would look really cute with yo-yos. Is just make you some angel wings out of the doilies. You don't have to order the metal rings. But if you're going to use the metal wings, then you need to use something like E6000 and clamp them. And also, if you use some hot glue, just use the hot glue in it, beside it, not over it, because what happens is when you have the E6000 down on a surface and then you put the hot glue over it, well, it's, you know, it's not going to work because the E6000 is not coming in contact with what you were actually trying to glue, just the hot glue. So, does that make sense? I hope it does. So you have to use your hot glue in other areas where the E6000 is not there. Just beside it, under it, whatever. But just make sure that it's not over it. I see a lot of crafters do that, and I thought it's not going to stay because, and it doesn't, because it's not touching, it's not coming in contact with what you want glued. You know, it's just glued to the underneath side, not glued. In other words, these wouldn't be glued down. So, and then, you know, hot glue and metal just don't. They're not permanent. It comes off pretty easily. So I kind of grunged it up a little bit, not a whole lot. And I'm not going to grunge up my background, I don't think. I think I want to keep it kind of the way it is. But I did use some dark wax on these beads. I painted this one cashew because it seemed to go well with the background of this. But I'm just going to put a little bit extra on this too. And just see what comes up with. I'm not doing all of them because they're in my clamps are in the way, but I did put some dark wax on it. So I have hundreds of angels in my home. I just worry about them when I'm gone. Oh, Marsha, do any of your family want them? But you know, if somebody were to donate them, think about it this way. If somebody were to donate them, family members or friends, that'll bless somebody there, you know, at Goodwill or any of the thrift stores. Goodwill's so high, but any of the thrift stores, you know, it would bless them, you know, to have it. So, you know, if you, what is the diameter of the yo-yos? I think they're 2 inches. Let me check and see. I think they're about 2 inches in diameter. Yes, they're 2 inches in diameter here. So, I was right on that. So I'm just gonna, now I'm gonna take, I thought about taking the little gold trim and gluing it to the top of it, but I don't know. So I just have this trim here that it's vintagey looking. So we're gonna just put that to the top, hopefully, and see how this is gonna look. I'm just gonna try to glue it just right to the top. Nothing spectacular about that. Just have it kind of come down on the sides a little bit there. So I'm going to get my spatula here and do that. I didn't make a little circle. I just kind of had it going across the top. And I guess that's it, other than my heart. I can't find my heart. So it'll show up. Definitely it'll show up. But I do have more that I can, oh, here it is. And here it is right here, right in front of me. Okay, good. Now, I didn't have time. I think these are little buttons. The hearts look like little buttons. You see the little holes? And I didn't have time to, I didn't want to. They're so small to put the thread through them. So I'm just going to add a little heart here is what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and use the E6000 because I don't think the hot glue is going to stay on that fabric. I might be wrong, but I just don't think it's going to stay. That's B7000. What did I do with that? Here it is. B7000 is good too, but it's thinner in viscosity. This is a little bit thicker, a little bit more tackier. So anyway, I'm just going to stick it on in the middle here where her heart would be. You could do a little tag if you wanted to, you know, and do that. Kind of came through the came through the hole there. But get that off. There we go. And see, if I wet this a little bit, that's going to make that tea dye, that ink, smeared a little bit. That's going to even make it even look even more grunged up, like you really did tea dye it, coffee dye it. It really does. I'll show y'all that in a minute. At least I think it does. So I didn't do a lot of the grunging on here, but I did a good bit. So, but this is my completed angel. Look how easy that is. I'm going to go ahead and undo the clamps so you can get an idea of it, but I'm going to clamp them back on just so that they'll stick. And I think that's it. So look how cute that is. It's straight. So there's the little heart. You can get those from Factory Direct Crafts. I keep a little drawer, a bin full of little hearts and stuff, you know, for Valentine's Day or what other days, you know, you want to use a heart. Cindy Vines is the Shabby Heart by Vines, and she used to always, when she was crafting, she pretty much had a little signature heart somewhere, you know, on her crafts. I don't know if she still does that with her junk journaling or not, but she'll get back into everything. She will. They're easy to make, Cindy. She'll get back into it. She's, her mother passed, and she's been having to, she took care of her mom, and then her mom passed suddenly, and she has to fix up 2 homes that she owned and try to sell them. So she and her husband have been remodeling them, and so that's taken up majority of her time. She's got one sold, praise the Lord, and so they're trying to sell the one in Palm Springs that she never got to live in. She bought it, and was going to be across the street from her, so she'd have a place to stay. They were actually going to move to Palm Springs, and her mother died, so they had to finish remodeling it. So she'll be back. But anyway, that's my little primitive farmhouse little angel there, using the yo-yos. It's the same concept as the tree, except with the tree I used a casted little frame, IOD frame, and I decoupaged a little, you know, Santa on there or whatever, and that was the tree trunk for that. And then I glued old buttons on each one of the yo-yos, but I didn't do it with the angel. But I thought that looked good. But somebody asked me if I was making an angel when I did my Christmas tree, and that's what gave me the idea to do it. So I'd love to see if y'all make one. I mean, this is just a surface I had that would fit, kind of low on my surfaces and things. You could do it on some barnwood, you know, get the ones at Hobby Lobby where you can cut them and glue them together, you know, using your paint sticks on the back, because they're about that wide, each one of them. But you could do a couple of pieces of barnwood and put it on there. If any of you got my metal tiles, you could do something like that on there. So they're, you know, y'all just get creative. I'm just here to give you an idea how to do it. And I don't think it's crooked. I'm going to sit it up straight. No, it's good. I took the jute hanger off. It was on the side like that, and I took it off. But I like it. And y'all may want to just do it a different way. But it's just something different to do. It can be for Christmas. It can be any time of the year, for Valentine's, but I could keep this out. This is something I could keep out year round. And isn't it pretty? Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Pam. It's good to see you. She's one of our Southern Heart girls, women, whatever you want to call it, gals. I guess we're not so young anymore, right? Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. Let's see who else has been on here so I can say hey to you real quick. But I'm finished, and y'all can go, and the link to the wings is in my description of my video. I've got 2 different sets. I showed you in the beginning of the video. Some have more rust on them than others, and then the other one are the more just the regular galvanized metal with a little slightly oxidation on them or rust. It just depends on where he cut them. You know, some of them just had rust on one side, and then the rest of it had that look. So, but anyway, that's how you can get them. And if you can't find them or can't find the link, just message me and I'll give you the link that way. And so thank y'all for joining me. I think she turned out sweet. And thank you for putting up with me with my not finding stuff here. No, we're not young anymore. Tell me about it, Cindy. Between your hip and my butt hurting all the time, my SI joint, which makes me feel like, you feel like it's your hip. But I can't go walking anymore, anywhere without it pinching real bad. And I have to just, I can't put all my weight on it when that happens. So anyway, I go back to the doctor tomorrow. We'll discuss it. If she wants to do an MRI, they've got to go find me an open one. But I'm not going to have surgery, so I don't even know if that's going to do any good because I'm not going to do that. And especially after what my son-in-law went through. So they're just going to have to manage my pain. Like I said, I'm trying to get better at doing my stretching exercises because I wasn't doing them after I stopped. Every now and then I was doing them after we stopped physical therapy, but that's all they did. But after they started working on me, though, is when I started getting the pain down the back of my thigh to my knee. So, I don't know. I wasn't doing that before. I'd love to get some wings. Might have to wait till after Christmas. That's okay, Helga. If you want any, if they aren't sold out, I can hold you, one bag. Just let me know which ones you wanted. If you wanted the more gray, if you wanted the more rusted. So, otherwise, I'm gonna get him when things settle down around here after Christmas and he's finished. If you can see my space, but he's got to move everything out. He's in the storage part of the basement. He's making a workroom for himself, workshop. So he's got everything piled in here. He's just trying to get himself organized. But bless his heart, he's trying between working and doing that. So he'll get it done. I just have to walk around everything and move things to get things out of my drawers and cabinets. So, oh, you ordered some frankincense balm. I saw that at the store, or either was it on Facebook? Somebody mentioned that about pain. Let me know if it works, Cindy, because I think I saw it on Facebook. The frankincense, a rustic one. Okay, well, hopefully if they aren't sold out, I'll go pull one out for you and take it out of inventory. How about that? And otherwise, you can wait, and when Mr. Wonderful cuts out some more, I can give you one. So there you go. There's my angel. So y'all, if you want some, just find the link in the description of my video or the featured link. You should see a little link at the bottom of your page and a little paperclip, and you can get it from there. So y'all have a great week. I'm not sure if I'll go back live another day this week. I'd like to. Just depends on my schedule. So, but I'll let y'all know ahead of time if I do, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and y'all stay warm. Bye-bye.